directions. Then we sprinkle a little bit on the fur there, and then after that we roll the smoke, and then we pray for what we want. We'll be praying separately, individually. My uncle will be way over there, and I'll be on this side, and we'll bring out our instruments and put a blanket right under it and set it all right there, and have one of the peyotes sitting there. We show what we have there with the tobacco and the cedar backs and all that. Then we sit there and pray all what we want to talk about and pray about. And after that, we put everything. When we do that, we sprinkle a little water on the peyote. Then we take all the instruments and put them back in the truck, and then we start harvesting peyote right in that area. It used to be, you go to just one area and there'll be peyote. We didn't have to look around way over there or just scout around. It used to be just like in a small area where we used to pick up a lot of peyote, and we used to cut the top off. We never took the roots out of it because they used to always say just cut the top so the other can grow again. So that's how we used to harvest peyote, and then we load up and get back to Randolph City and spend the night there, and then we'd head back out this way. So as time went on, this organization came out when some drugs came around and got involved with this peyote. That's when the United States government stepped in. Drug, I guess they call it LSD, and it didn't work with the peyote, so they had a difficulty on that. So for that reason, the Native Americans, different tribes all over, they wanted to get this church all organized. So that's how the Native American Church of North America International came about at that time. And then they told other tribes all over to get your chapters, get your organization. So throughout the United States in different areas, everybody got their chapters and everybody got their organization together, as well as the Navajos. We had an organization that came about as Navajo Land. In that Navajo Land, we had 4 agencies or 5 agencies, the checkerboard areas. They all got together, had board of directors, president, vice president, secretary, treasurer, and all that. They all came about for the reason that the peyote distributors were told, don't sell peyote to white people or others, only Native Americans, 25% of blood of Native American. That's what they were told then. So there was about, I could think of roughly right now, there was about 13 peyote distributors down there at that time. And I knew quite a few of them. I used to go down there and get peyote from them. Their membership card came out to show them that we're members of Native American Church, whichever chapter we come from. And then later on, there's been some difficulties that people came about with carrying this peyote, that the Texas Safety Department wanted to have peyote transport papers. So that came out again, and there's a lot of things that came out then through that time. So this time they have to have those, but there's a lot of this government, the state of Texas government, and the people out there to put rule to have a certain so much amount to have this peyote. So a lot of the distributors they were very well uneducated, didn't understand the rules and regulations that came about them. So they kind of put it aside and all that, and then some of them started phasing out. Some of them passed away. Like there's a woman who used to distribute peyote. Her name was Isabel Lopez, and there's some people on down. I forget some of their name, but there was Monarquez Manes, and there's quite a few others. They were there. Juanita Johnson's like that, and Salvador was there. I think he was starting at that time. Then it went down. Then that's when it started going down to Rio Grande City and all that area where there was peyote. So a lot of the other distributors went on beyond, and some of them just put it aside. So there's only 3 distributors now down there, and it's kind of gotten to hard for them because the only Miguel was telling me that they had to have anywhere from 10 to 20,000 peyote a day because people are coming from all over the states to getting peyote, and sometimes we don't have any, or sometimes we got to get it. So now there's ranchers that move in there, and the law had told the ranchers that if somebody's purchasing, getting peyote out of your field, they're going to be fined a large amount of fine. So that's the reason why ranchers kind of got scared, and some of the ranchers don't want to deal with selling or distributing peyote to the distributors, so they kind of have a little hard time down there getting peyote now. But anyway, we just hope for the best that everything will go back and organize, and maybe somehow, some way that we can get a place to get peyote someday. They're kind of the work they're working on now with this Morning Star and Conservation and some others too that want to get this peyote clearly and get it going. And some way, somehow that those ranchers, it's in their ranch, so they can't, they don't want to sell peyote out to the distributors. That's where things are at. But it was that way way back in time, where we should just go in. There was no gates, no nothing. It was just open range all over. But now there's a lot of procedures and law towards that. So we hope that everything will be all right.
Got a lot of